Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Willis, and welcome back to You Will Love AP Gov. Thanks for joining me for another video on one of the required Supreme Court cases for AP US Government. Today we're covering the Supreme Court case Tinker v. Des Moines Independent Community School District, one of the most significant rulings on students' First Amendment rights in educational settings. If you're taking notes for your AP class or prepping for the AP exam, remember to click on the link below and download the free guided notebook page to make it easier to follow along. Let's dive in. In 1965, a group of students in Des Moines, Iowa decided to protest the Vietnam War by wearing black armbands to school. John Tinker, Mary Beth Tinker, and Christopher Eckhart planned to wear the armbands as a symbol of mourning for those who had died in the conflict. The school administration learned of the planned protest and preemptively adopted a policy prohibiting students from wearing armbands, threatening suspension for non-compliance. When the students wore the armbands anyway, they were sent home. Their parents filed a lawsuit against the school district, arguing that the policy violated the students' First Amendment right to free speech. The legal issue in Tinker v. Des Moines was whether the school district's prohibition of the armbands violated the students' First Amendment rights. More specifically, the court had to decide whether a public school could restrict student expression without clear evidence that the expression would cause substantial disruption. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the students in a 7-2 decision. The majority held that the school district's policy banning the armbands was unconstitutional because it violated the students' First Amendment rights. The court determined that public schools could not restrict student speech unless it materially and substantially interfered with the operation of the school. Simply expressing an unpopular opinion or making others uncomfortable was not sufficient justification for censorship. Justice Abe Fortas delivered the majority opinion, emphasizing that neither students nor teachers shed their constitutional right to freedom of speech or expression at the schoolhouse gate. The court found that the armbands were a form of symbolic speech, which is protected under the First Amendment. Furthermore, the record showed no evidence that wearing the armbands had caused disruption within the school environment. Since the school's action was based on the fear of potential disturbance rather than actual interference in school activities, it was deemed unconstitutional. The Tinker decision set a vital precedent for student speech rights, reinforcing that public schools are government institutions bound by constitutional protections. It established the substantial disruption test, which continues to be used in courts to determine whether schools can regulate student speech. This case remains relevant today as courts evaluate the balance between student expression and school policies, particularly in cases involving social media, political protests, and controversial speech. Additionally, the ruling highlights broader principles of constitutional protections against government overreach, reinforcing the idea that First Amendment rights apply even in controlled environments such as public schools. And that's everything you need to know about Tinker versus Des Moines. You can click here for additional videos for AP US Government, and be sure to check out my videos on AP Macroeconomics and AP Microeconomics as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on AP Government and Economics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on You Will Love AP Gov.